Hi, my name is Sriram, currently at Bhagwatla Charitable Trust. A couple of months ago, I happened to attend a program, annual meeting, in fact, of Mission Samriddhi. And in one of the groups, I was talking about cyclic economy, how we've forgotten cyclic economies, and the fact that as organizations also, let alone government, even we have forgotten communities and we've been focusing on people. And how partly with BCT too, we've been attempting how do you bring about communities together, and the reasons for has been is to see how do we build cyclic economies. And in the studies that we've been doing here, it is quite evident that every family is in debt. We're not talking about the additional expenses that they happen to have with respect to education, marriage, or some function, or death, or health. So this has been bothering us, that we need to work on cyclic economy, that we need to build rural economies or tribal economies, etc. But we didn't have an answer, and so it was in pursuit of this when I chanced upon meeting Pradeep, and he was talking about the GLIDE program and the successes that it had brought about in many villages across India. And so we just got started talking, and then very quickly, so we set up, say, let's do it, and then do it quickly. And here we are, 3 months, I think, after we first talked for about 30 minutes, less than that. It had also, even this has also come at the right time. You know, as they say, come at the hour, come at the man. Similarly, come at the hour, come at the program. We're just getting started to see how do we build sustainable livelihoods for farmers and people with disabilities as one program, and there's another program we are attempting to see how do we bring in entrepreneurship for women over 35. So looking at the entire gamut of a village, this GLIDE program is certainly has provided us a lot of tools to look at resources that are available, skills that are available in the villages, and without running far from where we are, how do we market so that the money stays within the village or within the cluster. You know Gandhi's Gram Swaraj is how do we, and it was there earlier and we lost it, and then this is an attempt, and we sincerely hope very quickly we are on to this and see how do we develop the tribal and rural areas. And once again, absolute thanks to Pradeep and his team for coming up with this program, and Pradeep to come and stay with us in this sultry summer times of southeastern India. You know, but with all the mosquitoes and power cuts, etc., he still has kept a very cheerful face. But so thank you, Pradeep, and looking forward for many such interactions. Bye.
Right.
As far as the program was concerned, first we talked about various items that, how much of money that is flowing out of a village. Looked at how the bigger picture of how much money that each of the villages contributing to the Indian economy. I think the most surprising fact for a lot of people has been the amount of GST that they're paying to the government. Everybody thinks it's the taxpayers' money that they're running off on, but in a very simple calculation, in an extraordinarily simple calculation, we looked at and realized that each family is paying about 40,000 rupees of GST from a village, each family. So I'm sure the entitlements that the government is talking about providing to these families, but they're giving less than what, in fact, they're taking off the village. So the flow-wise, as the workshop, it was the main picture, and then we talked about how much money we are losing, then looked at all the entire picture of, the consumption pattern, of each family, and then looked at what is that we are looking at on a daily basis, and then looked at what are the resources that are available resources that we could actually say, can we, instead of buying, can we start doing this, so that we start to plug the leakage or the holes in the pot, so to speak. How do you get back the money? How do you rechannel the water going out into the pot again, so that there is some amount of money and there's some amount of pluggings coming in, and that's a trigger point. It can't, let's say about there are 100 holes. If you can start to plug in to begin with about 4 or 5 or 6, it's a good start, because it takes time. We've had 200 years of rule from British that systematically brought down villages systems, and then 70 years, so 270 years of undoing is going to take time. So we were very happy that, the people who part of our participants or part of the project, senior program members have gone through this. Now they've understood that, we don't have to run far for markets, that local market is good, that we have the skills, that we have the resources. It's just that our intent of not able to do it had come through very well. And as far as BCT is concerned, and with Grameen Incubation BCT, we are looking at in the next 3 to 4 months, can we pilot test it in at least 8 to 10 villages immediately, and then see how the results come about, and then slowly for next year probably have at least 30 of the villages go through this process and start looking at reviving circular economies. Thank you. While, as I said earlier, Kamat Deava, Kamat the project, while we were looking for answers, how do we solve some of the rural issues, I feel many of the organizations that are working towards the betterment of lives of people in wherever the areas are working. I'm not just talking about tribal or rural, even urban slums. It is imperative for us to start looking at how do you build the skill sets, how do you give people the confidence to believe in themselves. And that comes from the fact how they handle money. So once they understand that, how do we look at the confidence to people, be it the urban poor, rural or tribal, that again is that's the crux of any income generation programs that we take up. Instead of looking at income generating programs, it will be nice for organizations to start looking at how do you keep the resources from going out. And Glide is a fantastic tool that I've experienced in the last couple of days that could be used to get the community to start thinking about themselves and get the confidence back, as was in the past that each village was self-sufficient. So we can have self-sufficient villages and communities. I have been a very strong opposition of the concept of fortune at the bottom of the pyramid. We should instead say fortune within the bottom of the pyramid section. So I very, very, very strongly recommend organizations that are working in livelihoods, that are working in income generating programs, that are looking at women empowerment programs, or women, well, not just women, any clientele, any section of the group that are working for should be able to use this Glide tool for building more confidence amongst people. Thank you.